What's going on, guys? This is Chris with Azrael's Pit Barbecue, and I have a question for you. When it comes to cooking chicken, are you chicken? Man, it is November already, and that means Thanksgiving right around the corner. By a show of hands, how many of you are going to be cooking a turkey? Yeah, me too. We're going to do a spatchcock turkey, as a matter of fact, similar to our spatchcock chicken. However, it's going to have some slight variances to it because it's going to be a slightly different cook. Speaking of spatchcock chicken, our spatchcock chicken video has gotten over 8,000 views, which blows my mind until I think about the reality, which is I used a culinary term in the title, spatchcock. So a lot of people are actually seeing this video. And I got an interesting couple of comments, and the comments didn't bother me so much because they weren't negative, but the reasoning for the comments bothered me somewhat because I think it's just a matter of some conventional wisdom that's not really holding true today. So, unless you were cooking a chicken or a turkey by temperature with a good digital thermometer, hang out for a second because I'm about to drop some knowledge on you.
It's great to learn.
Because knowledge is power.
Okay. In the spatchcock chicken video, there's a couple of comments I would like to address. I got my iPad in my lap, so I'm going to look down. One says, you need to cook your chicken more, too much red juice, cook until it falls apart. Another comment says, that chicken was not done in the middle. Well, let's take a look back at that cook, and let's see exactly what these guys are talking about. And then I'll take all this and pull it out, and we'll have some pulled on the side. Did you see that? Right at the end of that clip, you saw some reddish, purplish color. Ooh, yeah, we're going to get scared about that for sure, but we shouldn't be, and I want to explain to you why. So let's take a look at these comments. Let's break them down. Let's understand where these comments would have come from in the first place, and let's talk about why they're just plain wrong. So to the first comment, you need to cook your chicken more. Too much red juice. Cook until it falls apart. Alright, let's break this down. To the comment of cook until it falls apart. I have some thoughts on this. However, I think Brian Griffin from the Family Guy says it best.
No.
Yeah, if all you ever did was cook your chicken until it falls apart, then all you would ever have is falling apart chicken or pulled chicken. Pretty sure I said in this video we were going to do quartered chicken and cut chicken. If you are cooking your chicken till it is falling apart, then you are absolutely always overcooking your chicken. So that can't possibly be the right answer. So let's look at this other comment here. Too much red juice. Alright, fair enough. But let me ask you this. What red juice are you referring to? Are you referring to the juices that we're mixing on that dark brown cutting board with the red barbecue sauce mixed in, with the red rubs that were mixed into that? Is that the red juice you're referring to? Or are you referring to that kind of purpley stuff that you saw there at the very end? If you're referring to the juices on the board, you're wrong. But if you're referring to the purple stuff, okay, I can see why you would say that. We'll come back around to that. And then to your point of, to the point of cook your chicken more. what does that really mean? I cooked that chicken for nearly 3 hours at over 300 degrees. So, there's something to be said about this. These people are looking at a video and they're visually taking in cues of what they think indicates a properly cooked chicken. The part that bothers me, if there is anything that actually bothers me here, is I didn't talk about clear juices and falling apart and all that kind of stuff. I talked about temperature. I talked about cooking temperatures, and I talked about my internal temperatures. And in multiple times in that video, not only did I mention the temperatures that we were working towards, you even saw me checking those temperatures with my thermopen from ThermoWorks. Let's take a look at that. Thickest point on the chickens, breast and thighs, we're shooting for 165 to 170 degrees. You go over that, you're going to start getting some dry chicken. So let's go check the pit. And we'll just keep doing that until we reach our internal temperatures, again of 165 to 170 in the thickest parts, the breast meat and the thighs. Thighs are doing good. I think I just need these breasts to come up a little bit more. Just a little bit longer. At the end of the day, conventional wisdom. Our grandparents, our mothers tell us, in order to know if a chicken or turkey is done, look for clear juices. The juices should run clear, right? We've all heard that. I bet you a lot of you actually check for that to this day. There's another one, checking the leg joints, and if they pull free, they're done. Yeah, if they pull free, they're done, but then it's overcooked. How would you ever have a drumstick of chicken if it always had to just pull free? Again, we're back to the falling apart, and you're just having pulled chicken all the time. What's another one? No red. There should be no red, pink, anything in the meat itself. That goes back to the clear juices piece. So, in order to understand why this conventional wisdom isn't wise at all, and as a matter of fact is actually dangerous, we need to understand a couple of things about cooking. And that is, hey, we all get that cooking is part art, part science. Well, let's forget art. Let's keep it science. And from science, we're talking biology and chemistry, or biochemistry. Okay, kids, put your nerd hats on just a little bit. Let's talk about those clear juices. First off, let's just get it out of the way. Not blood. We all understand that is not blood. That is water, proteins, various other things, and myoglobin. Now keep in mind, meat is mostly water. Literally mostly. Chickens, on average, are 66% water. So when you open up a chicken bag and it has those juices and those pink juices in it, not blood. That is water that it has sweated off, if you will. And essentially, the pink is the myoglobin that's in the water. So myoglobin is not found in blood, but it is part of the circulatory system, and it is kind of the handoff from blood to oxygen getting carried to the muscles. And based on its molecular compounds and how it's actually made, it reflects light in such a way that it looks pink. So during the cooking process, what happens is the myoglobin and that water mixture in general is denatured. Denatured in this case being a biochemistry term in that it is changed by some external force or factor at a molecular level. Specifically, in this situation, heat. Heat changes the molecular structure of that myoglobin, which in turn affects how it reflects light and what colors it keeps and doesn't keep, and to the point where it runs clear. Now, the reason why that's important, along with this conventional wisdom, is that myoglobin would typically turn clear in the worst case scenario at 180 degrees. If you go back and look at old cookbooks, any cookbook that predates 2006 for sure, but if you go back and look at old cookbooks, you'll see references to cooking temperatures of 180 degrees. Internal at the meat, thickest part of the meat, cooking temperatures being 180 degrees for things like chicken and turkey. And the whole juices run clear concept runs right in line with that, because you can have juices, typically juices will run clear, worst case scenario, at 180 degrees. So that was the visual indicator. However, it's wrong, and the reason why it's wrong is that denaturing process and getting myoglobin to go from pink to clear is not a fixed value in terms of the heat. There is a range, and that range can be from 150 degrees to 180 degrees. Well, if you were to purely base on your chicken's doneness based on clear liquids, you could have clear liquids at a temperature, an internal temperature that's actually too low. At the end of the day, that chicken could be unsafe to eat. Okay, so we all understand the point here about the concern of the doneness of, say, poultry, right? Salmonella, ooh, big scary word. And we know that that is a naturally occurring critter. Well, maybe you didn't know it was a naturally occurring critter. It's a naturally occurring critter. You can go buy yourself a chicken, grow yourself a chicken at home, kill said chicken, and still have salmonella in your chicken. It naturally occurs in the intestines of chickens and turkeys and lots of other things for that matter. So at the end of the day, when you get into a mass-produced product, say a chicken farm, the risk for that salmonella to contaminate the meat is pretty high. As a matter of fact, studies show that 90+% of the chicken you buy in the grocery store, I don't care if it says Tyson on the package, Bob's Chicken, I don't care if it says it's organic, natural, whatever, salmonella is natural, so you can pretty much bet there's a good chance it's going to be there. So your best and really only protection here is how you handle that chicken or poultry when it's raw, and how you cook it. And at the end of the day, I don't care what color the juices are, I don't care what color the meat is, I don't care where the sun is in the sky. The only way you're going to know for certain is that you cooked it to the right temperature. And in this case, the right temperature is and always will be 165 degrees. No matter what the juices look like, 165 degrees. But you got to make sure you measure it in the right place. So anytime you're using a digital thermal probe, obviously you're checking for the center point of the thickest part of the meat. So when you're dealing with chicken, that is the breast and the thighs. As a matter of fact, pretty sure I mentioned that in the spatchcock chicken video. And then we'll start really paying attention to the temperature internally. Thickest point on the chickens, breast and thighs, we're shooting for 165 to 170 degrees. You go over that, you're going to start getting some dry chicken. So now, if you take all of that, you can kind of process this together and understand why visually checking that chicken for those clear juices really doesn't help you. Because if you remember before, I told you, you could have the myoglobin, that liquid from the chicken, denature as low as 150 degrees. And that's just not safe. So the way you know for sure every single time that your poultry item, chicken, turkey, whatever, is properly cooked and not overcooked is you're going to use a good digital probe. Now, you've seen me use this in other videos. You saw me use this in the spatchcock chicken video. Here it is again. This is my ThermoWorks ThermoPen. I absolutely love this thing. I do not do a cook without it. Now, I believe in the ThermoPen, and I believe in the concept of cooking to temperature so greatly, I want to spread that love and share it with you. So, here's what I'm going to do. We are going to do a giveaway. Our first giveaway ever, and I'm going to give away not one, but two ThermoWorks ThermoPops. It's a smaller version of the ThermoPen, and it's a little bit slower. It's more like 5 seconds for its instant read, but they're very good, very handy, and I want to give away two of them. So, stick around for the rest of this video to get details on how we're going to do that. Okay, so now we need to address the pink chicken in the room. See what I did there? What about that red purpley stuff in that video? Let's take a look at it again. And then I'll take all this and pull it out, and we'll have some pulled on the side. And there you have it. Got our wings, got our quarters here, breast meat, and some breast meat pulled. How beautiful is that? Okay, that is not red juice. Cooked, uncooked, tainted with salmonella, tainted with barbecue sauce, barbecue rub. That is not what that is. It's not undercooked chicken either. So what is it? I'll tell you what it is. It's bone marrow. That's right, bone marrow. Rewind to the beginning of that video and I said, hey, here we have a couple of young chickens. Young chickens are processed at roughly 6.5 weeks old. Chickens in general don't exactly have very dense bone structures. Young chickens even less so. There's a lot of air pockets and they're just not fully calcified yet. You say, take one of those and put them in a pit, apply heat to them for a few hours, there's still bone marrow in there and it basically just pushes it to the top of the bone, just like a bruise. At the end of the day, it is not affecting anything other than the aesthetics, but because of that conventional wisdom that says juices must run clear, you can't have any pink or any color, whatever, if it's not white, it ain't right, all that kind of stuff, you see that and you immediately say, that's bad. There are multiple spatchcock chicken videos and barbecue chicken videos on YouTube. Go look. You will see that similar type look in quite a few of those. It is not an indication of the doneness. The indication of the doneness was when this thermometer said a little over 160 and I pulled them off and they carried over to 165 and higher. This is the level of doneness. If you let your eyes and that conventional wisdom guide you, you know, most of the time you'll probably be okay, but there's still risks there. You have two choices. You can use one of these or something like this, or you can go the conventional route and then you've got to ask yourself,
do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
hey, speaking of feeling lucky, if you want to win one of these thermopots we're giving away, here's what you need to do. First off, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. We would very much appreciate it. Secondly, to be in the drawing for the thermopops, you need to comment on this video in the comment section below. I don't care. Say hi. Say, what are you doing? Say, hey, you're full of crap. Say, hey, that's awesome. You just blew my mind. Tell me what you're going to cook for Thanksgiving. Tell me how the weather is where you are. Tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what you'd like to see in future videos. Make a comment below. And we will let this run for just a little bit, and then we'll do a drawing for both winners. And then I will announce the winners in an upcoming video, probably towards the end of the month, possibly after Thanksgiving. Guys, I hope you learned something today. I hope this, gives you something to think about, and you really don't have to be a chicken when it comes to cooking chicken. Until next time, keep that smoke rolling. We'll see you later.